Hello, everyone. It's Monday, 23rd of January, and we are going to focus on the knees today, a super important part of the body. What I'd like you to do is to start seated. I would recommend if you have a block to sit on your block, or a pillow, or even a rolled up towel or a rolled up blanket, please sit so that your hips are lifted. You can come onto your mat and bring your feet out in front of you, sitting up on your block or on your pillow. Okay, working on the knees today, your hips are lifted. The first thing we'll do is a very gentle massage. So stretch your right leg out. Now, as your hips are lifted, you're going to get into a tiny hyperextension of the knee. Why is it okay while we're seated? It's that there's no weight on top of the joint. The only exception is that when you straighten your leg and hyperextend, if it's painful, please don't do it. Bend your knee a little bit or place something underneath your knee so there's no hyperextension. Okay, be very wise about this. If you can go into the hyperextension, just letting the leg fall, you'll see that the knee sort of creates a fold and it's soft. So take both hands and place your hands around the knee. It should be soft. You should be able to move your patella, which is the bone of the knee, the kneecap. It's a small flat bone that's oval. Take your two thumbs, place them on the either side of the patella of the kneecap, and press the kneecap from side to side, very softly and gently. Now, why do we do this? Because your kneecap is actually housed inside tendinous tissue. And sometimes that tendinous tissue becomes tight on one side or the other, and your knee does not track properly. So doing this helps to loosen up very gently, very softly, begins to loosen up that tendinous tissue. Now take the heel of your hands on either side again and make a little circle. So you pull the tissue forward towards the tibia. The tibia is the lower leg, and then pull it backwards towards the femur, which is the upper leg. So pull it forwards and backwards, making a circular motion about 5 times. You don't have to do much. If there's pain, of course you back off and stop. You can also do this with the knee slightly bent, where you'll feel the tendinous tissue contracts when you bend the knee. Okay, but that's okay. You can still do it. Change directions of the circle, do it about 5 times, and you'll feel the tissue moving around the kneecap. And it should be quite pleasant. Should be quite pleasant. It's warming up all that tissue. It's also bringing liquid, interstitial liquid, into the structure, into the capsule. Okay, once you finish with that, now we're all going to bend the knee. And you'll notice, just as you bend the knee, place your hands around the kneecap again, and you'll notice, oh, everything's tightened up and is holding on to the kneecap, it's a super interesting effect. Okay, if you straighten out and hyperextend, it's soft. Once you bend, boom, the structure tightens up. So bringing the knee nice and bent, and your foot is flexed, pointing up to the sky. Grab around the kneecap with both hands, okay? And push the heels of your hands inwards, and again, make a gentle circular motion on either side of the knee. So it's not going to be either side of the kneecap, either side of the knee structure. You're going to feel, it feels almost like bone there. Just make gentle movements, and it is bone. There is your tibia fibula on the lower leg, and your femur bone on the upper leg. This massage is going to affect the meniscus, which are deep inside. It's the cartilage which cushions the top bones with the lower bone. Change the direction of the circle. You press inwards. Now, why does this affect the meniscus? Again, it's moving liquid, moving fascia and tissue around those cushioning. All right. Now, block the knee with your hands crossed, block the knee, the foot is flexed, and we're going to get into rotation of the lower leg. Turn your right foot to the right without turning the upper leg. It's just the lower leg that turns, and your feet turn to the right, then to the left. Yeah, this is a really amazing mobilization for the knee. And this can help, if you do it very softly and gently, this can help to reduce inflammation inside the structure of the knee. If you have any knee issues, this is to be done every day, at least once a day. The massage along with this mobilization. And be very, very soft, please, very soft. Okay, next, we're gonna lift up the right knee. Take your right arm and bring the forearm underneath the knee, underneath. So from the side, it looks like this, just underneath, okay? And what we'll do is with your left hand, you'll take the tibia, the lower leg, and pull the heel in towards the hip. What this does is it creates more space in the capsule. So you pull the ankle back towards the hip and release. You're squeezing the forearm, but it's opening up the capsule of the knee. Do this a few more times, 5 to 7 times. You're also releasing because it's placing pressure on the forearm. One more time. And letting go, bring the foot down. Take your hands around your knee and just make a circle around the knee. Good job. Okay, straighten out both legs and just kind of feel the difference. And actually, physically, I can see a difference between my right knee and my left knee now. The right knee seems thinner. There seems to be a little bit less inflammation, perhaps a little bit less of a structural holding on to blood and lymph. Okay, so now we're going to do the left leg. My iWatch is got Siri on, so I'm going to turn off Siri. Let's go with the other side. So straighten out the leg. You could do it with the knee bent if it's uncomfortable to hyperextend the knee. Take your thumbs and start to rub little circles just next to the kneecap, just as we did before. Okay, starting with the thumbs. And you can push the kneecap from side to side if you wish. By the way, for those of you who might have a problem with the tendon underneath the kneecap, you can do the same thing, but very softly, please. You're taking care. This is rescue for the knees. Okay, and then we'll take the heels of the hands and make 5 circles from the femur down to the tibia, 5 circles on either side of the kneecap. And change the direction, 5 circles towards the femur bone, pulling upwards. All of the muscles of the thigh feed into this. And that's what creates a good tracking of your knee. Okay. Let's bend the knee now. And again, clasp your hands around, and we'll make these circular movement on either side, affecting the meniscus. Okay, clasping the hands around the knee, and just go with what feels good and what feels right for you. If it's too much, of course, you back off. Change the direction of the circle. You're pressing inwards. For me, this feels so good. And then holding the kneecap, we're going to lift the toes and let your toes go from side to side. Here's the rotation. So the upper thigh, the thigh doesn't move. It's just the lower leg that rotates. This creates much more mobility in the leg and in the knee. Okay, then we'll take our left arm, place it underneath the knee, and you squeeze the left arm, you'll take your right hand and you'll pull the ankle towards the hip 5 times, 5 to 7 times. Pull it and feel how it stretches the knee. It opens up the knee capsule. Good. Of course, always being careful. Never move into any pain. Couple more times. Good. Bring the foot back down and just massage on the outside of the kneecap, moving the hands over. Beautiful. Good job, everyone. Okay. I like to always compare the knees afterwards, so stretch your legs out. Have a look. Now both my knees seem around the same size and they look quite, sculpted. Let's bend the knees. Bring the knees to the right and come up onto your hands and knees. Place your block or your pillow to the side. We won't need it anymore. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in and curl your spine, looking skyward. And we'll breathe out and round, look to the belly button. Warming up the back, warming up the neck. Take deep, slow breaths. See if you can move your back and your neck smoothly. Be sure at the same time that your knees are hip width on the floor. One more time, curving and rounding. Come back to a flat back, open your knees as wide as your mat. Big toes touch each other and softly sink back. Now, when we sink back in this position, we are actually already stretching the tendons of the knees. If it's painful, come up on your elbows and let your head drop and don't sit back onto your heels, okay? So you don't want to overstretch. If it's painful, maybe it's overstretched. If you can sit down on your heels, come onto your heels and take a few deep breaths here. Simply letting go of the hips, letting go of the back. One more deep breath in and release the breath. Reach your hands out in front of you, fingers softly spread. Come up onto your hands and knees again, tucking your toes under. Let's rise to a downward facing dog pose. Feet are hip width, hands are shoulder width. And begin pedaling your feet, a soft pedal. Now, when you pedal, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at your knees. Are they tracking along with the alignment of the hip widths and the alignment of the feet? Sometimes I see in classes, people tend to turn their knees in when they pedal. Avoid that. Align the knees between your hips and your feet. Good. Now, step your feet maybe about 5 to 10 centimeters forward. Get into crouching cat, knees bent, hips up, head lifts. Now, in crouching cat, we're going to warm up the hips, the back, and the shoulders by pressing the hips backwards and upwards, and then moving forward, shoulders over the hands. Let's do that 10 times. 9. Check that the knees are tracking between the hips and the feet. 7. 6. Keep the knees wide. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good job. Begin stepping your feet forward. And as you do that, be sure the knees do not turn in. Keep the knees over the ankles. Now here's the big test. Bend your knees, hands to thighs. Check that your knees point a little bit outwards towards the baby toes. Okay, so if I were to show from the front, they point a little bit outwards. That's going to create that outer rotation. If your knees are going in, this is a problem. Even though it looks normal, this is going to misalign your knees and create some problems. So be sure the knees are open here. Hands to the thighs, lift the chest. And we'll bring our right shoulder forward, look over the left shoulder. Coming back to center. Left shoulder forward, look over your right. Back to center, let's keep going. Right shoulder forward, look over the left shoulder. Back to center, change. Back to center, one more time each side. Right shoulder forward. Back to center and the left. Back to center. Lift up to standing. Okay. Feet hip width. Look at your knees. Do a little bit of the dialing out. As I mentioned just before putting on the video recording, when we dial out, there's a soft dialing out. We can overdo it. So if you feel up, it's really putting some pressure on your knees, you've gone too far. You should feel that there's a soft dialing out. There's an alignment that happens in the leg, and you feel there's a little contraction on the outer hips. Those are your external rotators holding the legs in place. And these are the ones that we must work if we want healthy knees, your external rotators. Lift your ribs away from your hips, stretch your arms by your sides, open your shoulders wide, and here you have your perfect posture. It should feel activated. It's not like you feel relaxed in this posture. Perfect posture does not mean that you feel relaxed. It means that you feel active. Your whole body is active, from feet to knees, legs, hips, chest, belly, shoulders, and chin parallel to the floor. Okay? Hands to heart center. Good job. Now, one small comment. If you externally rotate a little bit, it's very hard to hyperextend your knees while standing. You'll feel that you have to have your knees soft. So you could bend your knees. There's like a spring effect on your knees at all times. That's where you should be. You don't have to be bent, okay? But please do not hyperextend. You see it here on hyperextending. Somewhere between the two, and there's like a springboard effect on the knees. Hands to heart center. We're going to get moving. Take a deep breath in, raise the arms and stretch skyward. As you fold, breathe out, bring the elbows to the knees. And when you bend your knees, be sure they do not come forward over your toes. You bend so that the hips go backwards. Hands to the floor. Step your right leg back, then the left. Get into a good plank position, belly in, chin lifted. Lower your knees softly to the floor and lower your chest down. Point your toes, lengthening your legs behind you. Rise to a cobra position. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto your knees. Walk your hands off the right-hand side of the mat. Stretch your hips back, getting a side bend in here. Then the hands off the left-hand side of the mat. Side bend, bring the hips back. Back onto your mat. Fingers spread softly, tuck your toes, rise to down dog. Step your feet forward about 10 centimeters to get into crouching cat. Turn your knees and toes to the right and bounce. 3, hips go back. 2, 1, turn your toes and knees to the left and bounce. 3, good. 2, 1, turning the feet forward, stepping forward. Avoid the knees turning in, please. Step forward, stepping forward. Knees bend, the hips go back. Hands to your thighs. Support your back as you rise up to a chair position. Arms by your ears. When you bounce here, the hips move back. The knees do not move forward. Move them back. 3, 2, 1. Up to standing. Refine that perfect posture. Slight turning out of the feet. Engagement into the hips. Ribs lifted. Arms stretched straight. Good. Hands to heart center. We go again, deep breath in. Folding forward. Stepping back to the plank. Knees come softly to the floor. Lower yourself down. Point your toes. Keep your feet and your legs aligned and contracted. Coming up to cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the knees. Side stretch. Hands off the left-hand side this time. Pressing back. Hands off the right-hand side. Pressing back. Back onto the mat. Tucking the toes under. Down dog. Step the feet forward about 10 centimeters. Bend the knees. Turn the knees and feet to the right and bounce here. 3. Hips go back. 2. 1. Change sides. Bouncing. 3. 2. 1. Stepping forward. Keep the knees aligned as you step forward. Bend your knees low. Hips go back. Hands to thighs. Lift the chest. Arms to your ears and bounce here. 3. 2. 1. Up to standing. Perfect posture. Dialing out slightly. Hands to heart center. Let's keep going a little bit faster. Deep breath in. Fold it. Hips move back. Stepping back to plank. Move your knees down. Move down to the floor. Point your toes. Lengthen. Cobra. Up onto the knees. Side stretch to the right. Hips go back. Side stretch to the left. Hips go back. Onto your mat. Down dog. Step 10 centimeters forward for crouching cat. Turn knees and toes to the right. Bouncing. 3. 2. 1. To the left. 3. 2. 1. Turning forward. Step right foot, then left. Coming forward. Bend your knees. Hips are back. Lift into chair. Bouncing. 3. 2. 1. Up to standing. Refine that perfect posture. Hands to heart center. Go again. Deep breath in. Folding. Stepping back to plank. Knees come down. Moving down. Point your toes. Lengthen out. Come up to cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Step your feet forward. Turn the toes to the left. Pressing. 3. 2. 1. Other side. Bounce it. 3. 2. 1. Facing forward. Stepping forward. All the way front edge of the mat. Knees bend. Come up into chair. Bounce it. 3. Good. 2. 1. All the way up to standing. Set your right hand on your chest. Left hand on the belly. Close your eyes for a moment. Feeling your heartbeat. Calming your breath down. Calm your heartbeat just for 1 minute. At the same time, keep that dialing out of the feet, getting the knees in the proper position. And we're going to take the sun salutation up to the next level. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Here we go. Deep breath in, rise. Folding, hips go back, 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 back. Step back to a plank position. Lower your knees now and do 1 push-up. Down and up. All the way down. Cobra pose. And take your down dog. Or crouching cat. Raise your right leg up, bring the right foot between the hands. If it doesn't come forward between the hands, grab it and scoot it forward. Turn your left heel down. Now check to make sure your right knee bends at a right angle, okay? It does not come forward over your foot. It bends over the ankle. Lift up, pressing against the front thigh. Now everyone, take your right thigh. Right hand on top, left hand underneath the thigh, and externally rotate it. You're going to notice all of a sudden the knee starts to point out towards the baby toe. This is helping the external rotators fight against that valgus knee we talked about, where the knee goes in. You want the knee to go out. So physically, take it. Externally rotate, knee points to the baby toe. Raise your arms up over the shoulders. Then open the arms, taking warrior two. Then reverse your warrior, go back. Keep that knee going towards the baby toe. And then move down again to your plank position. Let's go. Plank. Knees come down, everyone. One push-up. Moving all the way down. Pointing the toes, lengthen out, come up to cobra. Push back, down dog or crouching cat. Okay. Left leg now. Lift it, send it between the hands. Scoot it forward if you have to. Right foot comes down, the heel is down. Hands come to the front thigh. Lift your chest. Left hand stays on top of the thigh. Right hand reaches underneath. Externally rotate the thigh. So you want to turn it out towards the left. Your knee automatically follows and goes towards the baby toe. Raise both arms up. Into warrior two. Keep that knee out towards the baby toe. Reverse. And move back down again to a plank position. And we do it all over again. Knees come down. One push up. All the way down. Coming into a cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Right leg lifts, bring it between the hands. Scoot it forward if you need to. Hands on the front side, lifting up. Sorry, the left foot is down, left heel is down. Take the thigh, externally rotate it. Raise your arms. Warrior two. Reversing. Beautiful. Moving back down again to a plank position. Knees come down. One push up. All the way down. Cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Left leg in between the hands. Turn the right heel down. Hands on the front thigh, lifting up. Externally rotating the thigh. Raise your arms. Warrior two, open them up. Reverse it. Moving back down again to plank position. Woohoo, keep going. Bring your knees down, one push up. Excellent. All the way down, point your toes, rise to cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. That's great, everybody. Right leg goes up. Coming into a warrior two position, hands on the front side, lift yourself up. Good. Externally rotate the thigh, raise the arms. Move into warrior two. Reverse. Moving back down again to plank position. Guys are looking great, fantastic. One push up, down and up. Yes. All the way down, point your toes into cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Yes. Good. All right. Are we on the left leg or have we done? We're on the left leg. Let's go. Up between the hands. Externally rotate. Good. Raise the arms. Perfect. Warrior two. Looking great, everybody. Reverse it. Take that reverse and moving back down to plank position. All right. I know you have it in you. We're going to do one more round each side. Let's go. One push up, down and up. Come on, squeeze out every bit of juice all the way down. Point your toes and into cobra. Good. Down dog or crouching cat. Guys are looking great. Right leg, bring it up. In between the hands. Lift yourself up, externally rotate the knee. Maybe you have to do it with your hands. Maybe you can do it automatically. Then the arms come over the shoulders, then into warrior two. Yes, then reverse. And let's move back down into plank position. Terrific, everybody. One push-up. Let's go. Good. Cobra and down dog or crouching cat. Excellent. Good. Left leg. Here's the last round. Squeeze every bit of juice that you got. Come on up. Yeah, good. Externally rotate. That's right. Arms up and then into your warrior two flow. Reverse. Move back to a plank position. Go for that one push-up. Good. All the way down. Point your toes into cobra. Take your down dog or crouching cat. Well done, everybody. Now step your feet forward until you get into the chair position. Hands to thighs. Just lift the chest. Be sure, look at your knees. Make sure they're going slightly outwards and that the hips move back in your chair position. Be sure it's not moving forward. If you can't see your toes anymore, your knees are too far forward. They need to be bending backwards so the hips move back. From here, we're going to do a big strengthening exercise for the knees and the thighs. Hands to the outsides of the knees. Sink your hips back and you'll push your knees against your hands and you'll push your hands against your knees. Hold it here for 10. You should feel the full outside of the thighs all the way to the glutes. 9, 8. The knees don't actually move. There's just an isometric contraction. 6. Keep the head lifted. 5. Hips are lower than the heart. 4. Almost there. 3. Keep breathing. 2 and 1. Come all the way up to standing and relax. Excellent. Bend your right knee, kick the foot up, grab a hold of the right ankle. Open the toes of the right foot, raise your left arm. You could stay here or take dancer's pose, pushing the foot into or the ankle into the hand. Holding 3, 2, standing leg is soft. 1, release, circling your arms. Change, left ankle, grab it. You could pull the heel towards the hip and stay here, toes open. Or if you'd like to go farther, push the ankle into the hand, lifting the chest, lift the eyes, dancer's pose, holding 3, 2, 1, good, releasing. Hands to hips, tree pose, everyone. Here's where we get to relax. Right knee bends out to the side. You have the ankle a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Arms in a V, lift your chest, stretch your belly, lift your eyes. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Good job. Hands to hips, lower the leg. Let's change. Left knee bends out to the side. Ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raise your arms. Lift your chest, stretching your belly. Set your gaze at one point, calming the mind. Hands to hips. Good job. Lower the foot. Excellent. Come back to the front edge of your mat. We're going to get into some core work now, as well as the work of the outer glutes, which is super important for the knees. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. And we fold. The elbows come towards the knees, hips go back, 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 back. Come into the plank position. Lifting your head, open your chest, arms are straight. We're going to lean forward towards the hands a little bit more and then lean back 5 times. So roll over your toes a bit. And then back. 4 more. Keep the belly in. 3. Go forward. Yes. 2. And 1. Lower the knees. And I want you to turn towards the device, bending both knees, and come down onto your side. The head goes all the way down on the arm. Stretch your top leg out. Lower leg can be bent. Turn the toes down and the heel up. This is super important. This is an internal rotation to be able to work the external rotators. Top arm in front of you, and we raise the leg. 10, 9, really squeeze the glute here. 8, 7, you should feel it quite strongly. 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg up there and press the heel as if you're going to push the wall. 10, 9, good. 8, push with the heel. 7, check that your toes are down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the leg straight and lift the leg higher. Hold. A little bit higher. Hold. Last one, a little bit higher. Hold. Good. Bring the leg down. Excellent. Lift from the side. Take that top leg, cross it over the bottom leg, and we're going to take a spinal twist. If you need to, you could stretch out the lower leg for the knee or have it bent. Turn towards the hip we just worked. So turn towards it. Both glutes touch the floor, please. Set your hand down behind you and get into a deep spinal twist and hold. Soften the neck, soften the shoulders. Soften the muscles of the face as well. Unwinding. Good. Now bring the feet together, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Lift your hips up nice and tall. Bring the feet in as close as possible. Grab around the toes and let your knees open softly. You're going to feel there's a big stretch going on the inner thighs as well as perhaps on the inner knees. If it's painful, bring your feet farther away from you, okay? If you can bring them in, keep them in. Lift the chest and lean forward. Deep, slow breathing. Good. All right, bring the knees together. Changing sides. Still facing the device so you can see. Bring the opposite arm down. Lower leg is bent. Upper leg straightens out and turn the toes down. So we really get the external rotators. Toes are down and you should feel the outer glute contracting. Let's go. We lift. 10. Good. 9. 8. You shouldn't be able to lift so high. The leg doesn't go up high because the hip will restrict it if you've got it in the right position. Toes pointing down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the leg up there and we'll press with the heel. 10, like you're pushing the wall. 9, 8, yes. 7, 6, grab a hold of the glute here. See if you've got it contracted. If you've got it contracted there, you're at the right place. 4, 3, 2, hold the leg straight. Lift the leg up higher and hold. Good. Again, hold. This is fantastic for your knees. The more you work these outer glutes, the healthier your knees will be. A little bit higher. Bring the leg back down. Woo! Lifting from the side. And let's take that top leg, cross it over the bottom leg. Both glutes touch the floor. Grab a hold of the knee and twist. Go into a nice deep twist for the spine. and you should feel the whole outer leg stretching. Wonderful. Unwind. Ah, so good. Soles of the feet together one more time. Grab a hold around the bottoms of the feet, open the knees, lift the chest, and perhaps lean forward. Let the knees open. 3, 2, good. 1, lifting back up, knees come together, turn to the side, and roll down onto your back. Feet are hip width. Knees are hip width. Arms onto the floor, lift the hips up. Hold the hips up for the moment, taking deep, slow breaths. Now walk your feet in just a little bit and raise the right leg up. So this is very strong glute work. We're going to press up a little higher. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Point your toes of the foot that's up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee and place the foot, the heel on the right. It's the right leg up. Your right heel is on the left knee. Now press up again. 10. Squeeze the glute. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring the right foot down. Feet hip width. Raise the left. Point the toes of the left leg. And we'll press up higher. 10, 9, 8. That's great. 7, 6, 5, 4. Stick with it. 3. Almost there. 2, 1. Left heel onto the right knee. Keep the hips up. And press up again. 10, 9, 8. Breathing out as you lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncross. Bring the feet down. Elbows into the floor. Lift your hips up as high as possible for a yogic bridge. Excellent back work here. Lengthen your neck. Come up onto your shoulders. Hold it here. 10, 9. Just breathe deeply. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Stay here, stay here. Yes. 3, 2, and 1. Arms come up over the head. Reach behind you and lower slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly, bringing the back down. Good. And once the back is all the way onto the mat, bring the soles of the feet together again for a butterfly. Stay here, knees open. Deep, slow breathing. Letting go. That's perfect. Softly lifting your knees up. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Allow your knees to fall to the right. Stretch your left arm behind you. Not only getting a spinal twist, but also a stretch of the front of the left thigh and into the knee and the IT band. Changing sides. Knees go to the left. Reach your right arm behind you. Nice. One knee at a time, coming back up. Lift your knees and squeeze your knees to your chest. Rocking from side to side, massaging the low back. We're going to do a double leg stretch here. So flex your feet. You could grab behind your thighs and straighten your legs. You could grab behind your calves and straighten your legs. Or you could grab your big toes and straighten your legs. And hold it here. If possible, bring your feet hip width so your legs and your knees and your hips are aligned. Pull the toes towards the nose. Keep your hips down on the floor. Straighten your legs as much as possible without hyperextending at the knees. And we breathe here. Good job. Rebend. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Right knee goes towards the shoulder. Pull the knees in and get that stretch into the hip. If possible, flex both feet. It helps to protect the knees by engaging the peroneal muscles. Keeping the legs crossed, bring the left foot down, and let's get into the spinal twist. Right arm out to the side, and the legs go to your left. Look towards your right hand, and we breathe here. Deep breaths. Uncrossing the legs with the right knee up first. Left knee follows. Left ankle now over the right thigh. The knee goes towards the shoulder. Let's just lift them both and hold. Right foot comes down, keep the legs crossed, knees go to the right, open your left arm to the side for a spinal twist. Deep breathing here. Good. Uncrossing the legs, roll back onto your back, squeeze your knees tightly to your chest. Lift your head, nose between the knees. Softly lower the head and stretching one leg out at a time onto your mat. If you're cold, cover yourself with a blanket or a sweater. Place your hands onto your belly and take 5 deep breaths in and out of the belly. As you breathe in, allow the belly to expand. And as you breathe out, allow the belly to contract. Ideally, this happens at the upper belly, not the lower belly. Lower belly stays strong. After your 5 deep breaths, stretch your arms by your sides and turn the palms to the sky. Imagine you have a relaxing shower, nice warm water flowing over the head and relaxing every part that it touches. Allow it to flow over the neck, over the shoulders, flowing down over the chest and upper back. Allow it to flow down over the belly. Over the middle of the back. Over the hips and lower belly and lower back. Allow it to flow down over the thighs, down to the knees, over the glutes and the backs of the legs. It's warm, it's comforting, and it's relaxing you. Over the knees, lower legs, ankles and feet. And the flow is continuous from head to the bottoms of the feet. Imagine it gets reabsorbed into the ground, from the bottoms of your feet into the ground. And imagine just now that the shower becomes light. It's a warm, comforting light. And it covers you and protects you. And this protection of light will carry you throughout the rest of your day. Begin taking some deep, slow breaths. Coming back to the present moment. And when you're ready, begin moving your fingers and your toes. Move your hands, your arms, your legs, your feet. Raise your arms up over your head and stretch from fingers to toes. And then lift your knees up to your chest and squeeze them against the chest. Rock from side to side. And then rolling all the way to your right hand side, set your hands down and lift yourself from the side, coming to a seated position. Well done. Good. Let's rub our hands together. Warm up your hands. Bring your hands over your face, softly, gently tapping around the eyes, and then down over the cheeks and onto the chin and jaw. And shake your hands out. This time, rub your hands together and grab a hold of your eyebrows and squeeze very close to your nose and squeeze outwards until you reach just the outer corner of the eyebrows, and do it again. We'll do that 3 times total. Squeeze, squeezing outwards towards the outer edges. This is really good for releasing tension. And then shake your hands out and place your hands over your face, closing your eyes, just palming your face completely. Except, of course, your nose, where you'll breathe in and out 3 times. And then bring your hands down to your heart center in a soft prayer. And have a lovely afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Good job. Well done.
Thank you, Anne.